the man walks away healed, the helpless man at the pool had not sought the Savior. He had not asked Jesus to heal him. How wonderful to know that God himself looks for us and he begs us to come to him for salvation. This man did not even know about Jesus, but Jesus came seeking him. Once a preacher asked a little boy, "Son, have you found Jesus?" The little fella, looking up, said, "Why, sir, I don't know. He was lost, but I was. And Jesus found me. All people, me." As the healed man joyfully walked around carrying his mat, some of the Jewish religious leaders stopped him. They were horrified to see that he was carrying his own bedroll on the Sabbath day. According to the rules, this was sinful. They saw the man, "You can't work on the Sabbath. It's unlawful for you to carry that bedroll. The man who healed me told me to," was his reply. His answer got them quite excited. Quickly, they asked, "Who told you to do such a thing on a Sabbath day?" How angry they were that someone had told this man to break the Sabbath, because the poor man didn't know who Jesus was. He couldn't give him his name. So they're basically saying the guy that was lame, that God had healed and told to get up and walk, he didn't even know that was Jesus. He just had faith. A little later, Jesus looked for the man he had healed and found him in the temple where he had gone to worship. There, Jesus gave him a blessing that was much greater than the healing of his body. He enabled the man to trust him for the forgiveness of his sins and to have everlasting life with him. But Jesus also warned the man, telling him, "Look, you are well now. Don't sin as you did before, or something even worse may happen to you." Jesus explained to him that he was very, very careful not to fall into life of sin in the future. At once the man knew it was Jesus who had made him well. He had felt so happy and thankful that he told everyone how Jesus had healed him at the pool. This only made the religious leaders more angry. So instead of being grateful that a crippled man of 38 years was healthy and able to walk, they criticized him because he had carried his bed on the Sabbath. And they criticized Jesus because he had healed the man on the Sabbath. They thought it was more important to keep their rules than for a miracle to have been worked. So a hopeless crippled could walk again. They began calling Jesus a Sabbath breaker. But Jesus answered, "My Father constantly does good, and I'm following his example." He kept his cool. He let them know, "Hey, I'm following Jesus. I'm not following your rules, but I'm following Jesus's rules." Who would you be fearful of, class? Jesus or like the president or the governor? The Jews were furious when they heard this, and they wanted to kill Jesus. Not only had he broken the Sabbath, but he had claimed that God was his father. Therefore, he made himself equal with God. No matter what the religious leaders thought, however, Jesus continued to go about doing the will of his Father. He not only claimed to be God, but he proved that he was God by the wonderful miracles that he performed. The paralyzed man in Capernaum and the friends who brought him to see Jesus, and the paralyzed man in Jerusalem had no friends. Then Jesus came to him and proved himself to be the greatest friend that anyone could ever have. Is he your friend, class? Why not thank him now for his friendship and ask him to help you today to be faithful, loyal, obedient friend to him? So make sure that you're asking yourself, Is God your friend? Is he there when you don't have anyone else? For Mrs. Brown, that's a yes. He's my friend when no one else is there. When I'm by myself, he is always there. All right, we're going to see what happens next.